Says that could have happened to us.
It could have done, but it didn't.
Right.
大家好呀，我是红星二老。今天咱们玩一些很旧的东西，英语解说。There's a very sophisticated reason behind it, because yesterday I forgot to make a video. I was watching a movie called The Empty Man. It scared the shit out of me. But anyway, now that I got time, let's play the Chieftain. And man, oh man, this is such a gorgeous looking thing. Whew, Chieftain Mark 10, holy shit. So, since it is a British tank, so I'm gonna try to do some British accent. Shut your fucking mouth, yeah? How was it? and I also saw like a podcast or something talking about why British rap it's not a thing, despite how prosperous the rock and roll genre they are. And that guy just gave us an example. He goes like, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. It just doesn't work. Mom's spaghetti. Okay, back to the game. So, I'm gonna cross here, because we got a platoon mate 113 sitting behind. He can cover me a little bit. You never see me do this in this map, right? But whenever I play with a platoon mate, I always play a little bit more aggressive. Just like I said before, I had, finally, someone to trust. And by rewarding that trust, I'm gonna play aggressive, take those critical positions, so I can maximize my impact into the game. And for my platoon mate, I draw the attention. The enemy team, probably the entire team is gonna look at me. Then he's gonna have opportunity to shoot. With 113's DPM, oof, it's a dream scenario. And look at here, after I poke on the left, I'm gonna use this gap. Like all those guys are like E100, E3, they don't have the accuracy. And also you can see there's a rock below. So here I'm basically hull down. They can only see my turret. It's not that they can't pan my turret these days, but considering the accuracy they have, I'm quite safe here. And oh yes, and now that we mentioned it, ever since the buff of the calibration, Chieftain's performance has got a little bit disappointing. Not only our pathetic APCR didn't get buffed, our turret right now is very easy to pen. And we're not even talking about tier 10 heavy tanks, like those E5 or 113. I'm talking about tier 9, like M103, AE Phase 1. When they use calibrated shell, my entire turret front, especially the cheeks, it's all fucking green. And this really hurt this tank a lot. I gotta say, I don't like it. Like, this is supposed to be the crown jewel of the British line. Well, it's not a Tech 3 tank, but it's still the tier 10 heavy. It's not the funky gimmick tank like 215B, or that clunky ass Supercon. This thing's supposed to be good, and right now it's such a disappointment. I mean, it's not really that bad, but it can be better. That's what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, you gotta give Wargaming credit. This camo looks very good. It's not as neat as the Dystopia, but now we got a proper looking main battle tank that genuinely exists in the Berlin Brigade. For that context, I reckon this is sublime. And here I'm like, I thought they're not able to handle the E3 because it's hull down. So I changed flank and came down here to help the E100. But that's futile. 113 able to take him down, and this game is basically over. So, what do you guys think about the current patch, the equipment changes? Wargaming seems to be very consistent and competent to confuse our player base. Think about it. Some of the points we can understand. For example, nerfing the rammer, vertical stabilizer. When I first read that, I thought they're finally doing something about their gaming pace. But it's just not the case. They also nerfed the armor, the hit points, view range of heavy tanks, so now you're fucking blind. And everyone is panning you. Then what the fuck is the point of the armor? Why do I play a E100? Or Mao's VK72? Like, imagine the scenario. I can't fucking go anywhere. I can't spot anyone, but everyone is able to pan me. And yet, I have less mobility, less hit point, and sometimes less armor. Like, dude, seriously, are you fucking drunk when you make these decisions? There's legit no point playing the German heavies right now. Technically, they got buffed, like the E100. You got better penetration value, better aim time, and since you're so slow, you don't use the vertical stabilizer anyway. The accuracy equipment got buffed as well. So in terms of dishing out damage, it is better. But the thing is, all the others also got all of these buffs. So those E100s, they don't stand out. I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about these changes. It doesn't affect me that much because despite I like the E100, I don't play it that much anymore. It's already out of meta since too long ago. But it's so random. I just cannot understand what they're trying to do. Yeah. Back to the game. This time I'm contesting the middle. I don't usually do this. You heard me saying this so many times. Going to the middle is dirty work, and Chieftain is not that type of tank. Let's take NBA The Warriors team for an example. The Chieftain is more like Stephen Curry, taking care of scoring, ball movement, but in terms of defense, dirty work, it's Draymond Green's job. So why do I come here? Because they don't have a very heavy armor tank. The only one is VK72, but it's a back-mounted turret tank. I should have the advantage in terms of hull down or using gun depression. As you can see, the enemy team is pushing town aggressively. So I'm gonna use these terrain to hold down, play a little bit defense. At the same time, I'm checking the minimap. Behind me, on top of the mountain, there's another heavy tank. He's the key factor as well. Without him, this line of defense would not exist, and he is the reason I'm staying here. And the rest is quite simple. Keep my hold down position here, use my gun depression, shoot anything that comes out the town. From this distance, they can't do anything to me. The only tank that can pan me reliably is the VK72, but he's already dead. And I think this is a very good example to play defense. I know this is a very contested, but the point still stands. When we play defense, we need depth. So whenever the opponent tried to push out, there are layers to our defense. The first layer obviously was the EVE-75. The second layer was me. The third layer was our Fenric. If they really have to push out, they need to cover ground of each layer. And since we have distance, they are going to lose a lot of hit points during the process. What I'm trying to say is, whenever you see a teammate is in trouble, don't just go straightly towards him. You're not actually helping him by doing so. What you should really do is create angles, create crossfire. And yeah, this basically concludes the video. And how do you guys like my British accent? Please comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. And yeah, I gotta go. Love you guys. Bye bye.